The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Greetings, Kooplings! Donnie Reese here, running the Nintendo Shack. You have just encountered Nintendo Shack 26, and what a show it's going to be. Give us a little leeway here. We've invited, as Iron Man would say, we have a Hulk with us this evening. Coach Mo, thank you for joining the Nintendo Shack. This may be the worst decision I've ever made here at Play Some Video Games.
I'm just so excited to be here. I mean, you know how much I have feelings towards Nintendo.
Oh no, feels like Loki just like working his way in. Like this is bound to turn sour at some point. For anybody that's not, I know Marvel references now. All of a sudden, look at that! I'm just dropping stuff right off the top. My sis is here, Caroline. What's up?
What's up? Time to game with a dame. That's what everybody decided that.
I like that one. That was a good one.
They wanted to hear my catchphrase, so I'm pimping it out today.
You'll know you've made it when Skinny Matt just takes it and uses that as his own, because that's apparently what he did for mine, and he's just doing it for others. So just be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be a fun show.
Nice. Yep.
This is not the show we intended. We had special guests. We had Jason, and so this is like emergency podcast, last minute to get together, which, who knows? Maybe it'll bear fruit. Before we throw it to Mo to say something, I have no idea how that's going to work. Caroline, what have you been playing?
What do you think I've been playing, Donnie?
Mario.
No. I am this close to beating the original Xenoblade for the Wii. This close.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. I've hit about almost 80 hours and I'm level 72 across the board, and I'm going to the final area right now. So it's pretty much a done deal. I'm going to beat it within the week.
Solid. Is that
finally.
That's it?
I put Mario Golf back in the 3DS, but I didn't boot it up today because I missed the tournament last week with you guys, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this week, but I had to take a nap earlier today.
Yeah, you have until Sunday. You need to join me and Jason at top of the leaderboard. It would be great if at least once we just all finish top 3, and then forever, no matter what the results are from here on out, it's just canon. Shaq wins Mario Golf. We just beat everybody else at Mario Golf forever. That would be fantastic.
That sounds like something Nintendo would do.
That's it.
Well,
do it once, and then you get credit for life.
One time forever.
We're tied for the first one that we did, and for whatever reason, I put Donnie in first place. I don't know why.
I think it's because in golf, I think in golf, whoever finishes first gets in order of succession. It's who came in first. So you become the clubhouse leader. So in real golf, we would have tied and had a playoff. But I think because I posted the score before you, it just ranked us that way. I didn't count that as a win. I counted it as a tie.
It doesn't matter to me either.
It really doesn't.
I'm just playing for the fun of it, because I haven't played this game since maybe the first 7 months that it came out, when I was just consistently doing the DLC packs and tournaments that came out. And it's great to be able to play again, dude.
It's much fun. We had 15 people post scores this week so far.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun playing again with people. I only posted one. I posted today, and that's it. So come get me. I'm at -10. -10, 9 holes, Princess Castle. Come get me. That's it. I'm not going to keep trying. Like last week, I kept trying because I was like, man, I can beat that score. I probably played 40 rounds. I can't do that anymore. You don't understand how this game gets me. I will sit there, and if I mess up one shot, I'll start all over. I'm like, nope, just all over. We'll go back to the beginning, try it again. So
what's the course this time? I don't remember.
We're at Princess Peach's Castle.
Oh, okay.
So we're going down. Go ahead.
I didn't realize you could retry. That would have been good to know.
Yes, you can. So
why'd you tell him?
So, Coach,
I'm like, man, -5. I just had 2 really bad holes, but everyone else is driving. I want to say at least 50 to 60 yards farther than me. So I think it's
That's because you're new. Yeah, that's because you're new. You've got to go beat some tournaments, get some outfits, up your driving distance, get new clubs, that type of stuff.
But I was like, man, I'm doing all I can. I don't think I had a bogey the entire time. I think it was just
that's really good.
Straight birdie.
Nice.
I know Jason's at -8 this round, or 9, or something like that. He's really good. I think I'm at 9. He's at 8. And yeah, I mean, he just started last week, so Coach, you're not that far away. It's not an incredible grind to become competitive. Especially like we throw items in there. If you haven't seen those, like the power boost, you can power boost.
I have no idea what those do.
So when you hit the Y button, and you get a power shot, just like hot shots. If you hit it again, every tournament I throw in at least one boost, something. So you get like a bullet bill or a mushroom, and it lets you hit it like super far. And it's up to you to figure out which hole you want to use that power up on. You can only use them like one time. They burn out. So
I would say that my favorite item has got to be the ice flower. When you use it on certain Mo, the way that it works is you equip the ice flower as your item. You can hit into water and it'll be fine. It will bounce off, create a like ice snowflake where the ball bounces off the water and can get back onto the turf so that you don't get a water hazard.
Yeah, we'll put that in the very next tournament for you, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coach, at any point in time, so the way the Mario Golf 3DS works online, you can post a round. If you didn't like it, you can just keep playing and keep posting a better score. Like at the end of every round, it'll tell you, do you want to replace your score with this one? And then in the middle of the tournament, if you hit start, you have the option to just start over. And the load screen, maybe 5 seconds, maybe. It's really fast. You just go right to the first tee, play again. You just keep going. So that's I call it the brutal cycle that it gets me in. I have that Jason Lacey competitiveness when it comes to golf games. Like I will map out, in 9 holes, I'll map out exactly everywhere and how I want to hit every shot. And the moment I miss one, I could be on the 9th hole. I'll start all the way over. Like, nope, go all the way back. Just do it again. Roll it back. We're going to fix it all. I have been playing, in addition to Mario Golf, I've been playing some things. I did boot up my Nintendo Switch for the first time in 3 weeks. The drought is over, people. Coach, if you haven't been listening, we've been following some Twitter followers, been complaining about the Nintendo Switch drought, which I'm sure you've got words for. But let me get mine out. I have been playing South Park, The Fractured Butthole. I played it last night, and I played it this morning. What I didn't do is I didn't stream it, and I was thinking about that earlier. So what I think I'm going to do before I get too far along, I think I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to reset it, and I'm going to start streaming it.
My gosh.
At least
can you create another save file, though?
I don't think so. At least not for my Nintendo.
Not on Nintendo.
Yeah, not on my Nintendo ID profile. Well, I mean, like some games let you do it in the game, but this one doesn't. It's just like continue or new one. I'm not that far along. I only did the first chapter. So my first impressions from the first chapter are the game looks really good. It looks like you'd expect it to. It's it's not the most realistic art style. It's South Park, so they're cartoon graphics. I think it might be just a tad not as sharp as I would expect it to be. Like, let's say I was playing it on my Xbox One X. I would expect it to be like super sharp and vibrant. And I'm saying this primarily from a portable mode. I played it 90% in portable. And portable definitely just looks like a little dull. I wouldn't call it like fuzzy, but just dull. It's just a little dulled out. When I hooked it up to the TV screen, it looks like everything I would expect it to look like. It looks fantastic. So in that regards, it's good. The load time between chapters, first chapter wasn't so bad, but the load time to get into the game is a bit lengthy. I don't know what it is. I would probably estimate it somewhere in like the 90-second range. Like that first load, you're just like, there was a point where I thought the game froze because it's just a black screen. I was like, wait a second, like, did it break? And I hit the home button and went right back to home. I was like, wait a minute, it's just a black screen for 30 seconds.
So bizarre. It just, you expect it's like cut paper. What's so hard about rendering it?
Yeah. And so like once I got through that and started actually playing the game, the part that matters, it looked and played great.
Right.
I do have something that I think it made me think about, but I'm going to bring that up later because I have a topic that I'd like to throw at us if we have time. The other thing I've been playing that actually beat was God of War, but I'm saving that, so nobody gets to hear about that here in the Nintendo Shack. That's a whole separate console.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'll bring that in here.
On my lunch break today, since I did my Mario Golf round yesterday, I did boot up some Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS. I've been carrying that 3DS with me. I've got all these games, and I was like, I should boot that back up as we await the Shin Megami Tensei release on Switch. That's an underrated game. It definitely, at least, maybe you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I definitely don't feel like that game has anywhere near the love that like Persona does.
No, it really doesn't. And you know what? It's funny you mentioned that because I'm working on finishing my Wii U collection while everything's dirt cheap. Didn't we talk about this though? What are your? Did you ever play Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Fire Emblem?
Oh yeah, I played that game.
Shin Megami meets Fire Emblem, sort of.
That's exactly what it is. I played that game extensively. I did not beat it, but I probably put 30 hours into it. I still have it. I've got it upstairs. It's one of those that I might want to redo on the Wii U at some point in time. It's if you like Persona games, it's great because it is a Persona. That's all it is.
Never played a Persona game, but I like the JRPGs, and
I think you'll love it.
It's just something that I need to maybe put on my shelf just because it's Fire Emblem, and I don't know how much of the crossovers.
So it's really not, though. That's the thing, is when they first showed it off, I expected to be a lot of Fire Emblem, and I think a lot of people did. It's really not at all. It's very much a Persona game that has like Fire Emblem support characters. That's really all you'll get. Like Marth comes in as a support, and yeah, kinda. But it's really pretty, and it is very JRPG. The difference between it and Shin Megami Tensei is always like very apocalyptic, and that's
gotcha.
That's what's kind of not
what I've
here.
Seen about this game is very bright and pop
super bright, very pretty J-pop. You actually have to do a chapter where you like go and audition as a J-pop star. So,
oh boy, that sounds like something Brian would absolutely love. Actually,
Coach Mo, what have you been playing?
I played almost an hour of God of War. Stopped.
And you quit? Oh. You just don't like it?
Because
it's not on Xbox.
It was fine. It's not that. It was fine. Like it wasn't like. So I talked about a game on OT called I Hope, and it's the first hour of that one had me hooked, and that's all I want to play. It's about this small group. I don't even know what to call them, creatures, beings. And it's basically telling the story of cancer and people going through it. And like the monster is called cancer, and the levels are named different stages of going through it. So you're looking at like one of the first levels called knowledge. So you're gaining knowledge about cancer. And then there's strength. And it's just that grabbed me. Sign me up for more of that kind of story. I've been on my PC a lot. I just got the fancy laptop that I don't know how to use. I just beat StarCraft Remastered. Went through the campaign in all three. I just started StarCraft 2. I'm doing the Terran one first because they're my favorites. Did a lot of World of Warcraft. Maybe it's not a lot like in jettison of what other people do. I did almost 2 whole hours. Very proud of myself. Played a lot of just trying different things. I really enjoyed Papers, Please. That was fun. That was a good little story. So that's been pretty good. I did one round. You guys were talking about how much fun you guys were having playing Mario Golf. I like competing. So I was like, I'll go pick it up. And booted it up and played one round and was like, my little guy's getting dominated, folks. He's not competitive.
Did you play with a Mii?
Like yeah.
So you should probably play with a Mario character until you get your Mii somewhat leveled up. You just got to go play some single player stuff. Like you spend 3 hours with it this weekend while you walk your dogs, you'll be fine.
Okay. So, and so that's been about it. I've just been dabbling and trying different things. I actually think I've only played maybe, if I was to do a pie chart, it would be like 5% Nintendo, 15, 20% PS4, 5-10% Xbox, and the rest was PC. So nice. A lot of PC.
Just since we're here and we probably only get a chance to talk about it, I will briefly say that I love God of War, one of my favorite PlayStation 4 games. So I'll just say that. So just we're very different apparently so far. I couldn't stop.
So I've done some really fun battle games lately. That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going through and you do those first 2 fights, and you're like, oh, this is fine. Then you fight, let's just say, another godlike character. I've never been more bored in my life.
Wow. Yeah, we couldn't think differently.
I was like, I would much rather go play Overwatch instead of seeing, oh, hey, he powered up once. Oh, he repowered again. Oh, no, did he repower up a 3rd time? I wonder what's going to happen now.
I do love that you and I are now finally MSI brothers. While we probably could never find any common ground on games that we like, we do have basically the same laptop. Very similar. Mo has just a slightly newer processor, but I love the PC. Have you played that Dragon Cancer?
It's on my list to check off. once I finish I Hope, I think I'll jump into that. But I Hope had me feeling things I've not felt in a long time.
I'm gonna have to check that one out,
Like, it was
because
one
the
of those-
moment you said that, I thought of that one, and I'm not sure if you ever watched our YouTube video where I streamed it. That thing had me in tears, like legit.
Oh, man.
I'm a grown man crying my eyes out, tears like that.
Can't
Oh,
stand it.
it was worth every second.
No. I'm just saying that grown men crying is just something that I can't deal with. I can't do it.
That's a powerful video game. If you ever want to show somebody how video games can be powerful, more powerful than movies, have them play that game. That game, they may change their mind. Coach Mo, you've been now nicknamed by Chalfie over there in the chat as Nin Ten Mo. I love that.
Never call me that
That's
again,
going
please.
to stick.
That's
That's going to
I've-
stick forever. Welcome to Shack,
no.
Nin Ten Mo. Aren't you glad you came?
It's awesome.
Do I just leave now? Although, tell Choff I love him. I am, if he listened to OT, I am wearing this shirt that was sent to me due to a wager I lost. It is a Mario shirt.
There you go. He came.
And
Nintendo came prepared.
For every podcast for the next couple of months, I will be forced to wear this one shirt.
That's a good bet. I enjoy
It's
that.
a good bet.
I enjoy that very much.
Speaking of bets, you're about to be caught up on the Marvel?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I did finish all of the movies that have come out to video rental. I do have tickets for me and the children to watch Black Panther Saturday morning
Oh, okay. So you haven't seen that one still.
and Avengers Saturday night. So come this time Saturday night, we will have watched all of them. Now, apparently I have to pass some quiz, and I'm going to go ahead and say this now. For anybody that's been following, we're talking about the Make Dev Switch challenge, where Dev has challenged me to watch all of the Marvel movies in order, and if I do, he's supposed to buy a Switch and play Zelda. There's no way, there's no chance I'm going to pass whatever test this is. I say
The
that knowing
questions I have are dope. By the way.
the questions. The reason that I can say that now is I'm watching this as a fan of movies, right? Not a fan of comics. I have really no history with any character at all. I've learned to like some in my journey so far, but it's not like I've read the comics or heard the stories or read the cartoons, or more importantly, this MCU spans a decade. You know, like you take somebody like Kevin, he's probably watched Iron Man 2 3 or 4 times. I watched it once. And then I watched 16 very similar movies in 9 weeks. So there is a lot of it that's like just kind of jumbled together. There are villains, I can't even remember their names. Like there are all kinds of supporting characters. Like there's no way I'm going to pass a test. I'm hoping that I show my valor and my intent enough that Dev decides to throw a bone, because he's going to get a Switch anyway. He wants to get a Switch.
Heck yeah.
So this is a very good friendly bet between
Nobody
two friends.
wants to get a Switch.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So
Well,
it'll be fun.
I just threw up in my mouth.
It'll be fun. I'm excited. I'm more excited about the podcast. For any of those listening at home, we are going to do a podcast. I believe the show is set Kevin, Mo, Devin, Donnie. I don't think we really finalized that, right?
That's what Dev was telling me. I actually reached out to him, was like, hey, do you want me to help out with this? And he's like, yes. And I was like, are you sure?
Oh,
And
dude,
I'm
you
like,
love the Marvel
this is your
stuff.
thing.
I thought we were going to
and he-
invade OT, and then Kevin said he wanted to do a side project, but we're supposed to spend, like, we're just going to spend a show where we go through all of them, and that'll be great for our listeners that like that stuff. So I'm excited more for that, and I'm now excited that I understand at least some Marvel joke references, and I kind of get it, and we'll talk about that later on a different podcast. But here in Nintendo Shack is all about Nintendo stuff. Before we get into news, because I don't want to bore Mo too terribly much tonight, I do have a topic that I think Mo can talk about. Actually, two. The first one is I want to talk about some upcoming releases. Look, there's not a whole lot of news going on in the Switch world. And, you know, on Twitter, there's a lot of people just looking for that next big Switch game. For a lot of people, it's Octopath Traveler. And that's in July. It's still a ways away.
July.
For me, it's Aces. Like, Aces would be the next big new non-port game that I look forward to. However, there are some games coming out tomorrow. One in particular that completely snuck up on me that I do think deserve highlight. So, what's it called? Lightfall. That's that Celeste Faye looking game. That comes out tomorrow. I had no idea that comes out tomorrow. It's out now. So like when you're listening to this show, it's out now, and that was the highlight of their last Nindy Direct reel. I know Jason was very. I think anybody that played Celeste probably looked at that and was like, "Wow, that could be."
It's the
really
one
good.
that's the light and shadow based.
Yeah, it looks
game.
like Faye plays like Celeste.
Right,
so it's like
right.
Faye's art style and like this 2D platformer. It looks really hard. I have no interest in playing it at all.
No. Same.
There's another game coming out tomorrow that's called Jotun, the Valhalla Edition. Now, we reviewed this game in 2016 on Wii U. Kevin gave this game a 92.
Really?
Jason also played it, and he also adored and loved this game. I think that 92 may have been even a mixed score between the both of them. I just quickly looked at our database. They really liked it. Me, fresh off the God of War Norse mythology stuff, which I had no belief before at all, plus hearing them talk about how much they liked it, has me really kind of looking at this game as like, maybe I'll understand it, maybe I'll get it, maybe this is something I'll like, because they really enjoyed that game. Also coming out
you've seen all of the Thor crap now, so I mean,
there you
you've
go.
Really got your background ready to go.
Yep. Also coming out tomorrow is Saturday Morning RPG, but Coach Mo coming to Nintendo Switch tomorrow. Late Shift.
That'll be the best game that's ever been on that platform. Hands down.
Oh my God.
Coach,
best game.
Coach bought me Late Shift for my birthday. I played it with my wife. If you watched our stream, we totally had a bottle of rum, like not like a drink, like a bottle between us, and we were pouring. I totally passed out like right at the end. She probably played it. She probably played the last 20 minutes, and I'm just like,
where were the kids?
I'm like asleep on her lap. Oh, we was like 1 a.m. Like we stayed up very late. We were just having fun.
Wow.
She loved that game, Coach. You were 100% spot on. She was like, that's like one of her. She's like, it's her favorite video game. It's really not a video game, Caroline. It's like a.
It's a video game.
It's an interactive movie.
Video game.
It's an interactive movie. Coach,
next level.
Tell our listenership here at Nintendo Shack what Late Shift is.
Okay, so a year ago, I was very, very depressed. Like I was really down. There was just stuff going on, and I see this game called Late Shift pop up, brand new. I go, you know what? I need something new. Let me dive into this. Literally after the first 5 minutes, I think I emailed or texted Donnie's like, can I please write a one-page thing on the website? I'm so sorry, it doesn't have a lot of information or pictures. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened in my life. He's like, fine, yeah, go for it. And I wrote about it, how wonderful and how much I loved the Late Shift. And I told everyone who would listen. I was tweeting at them. I was jumping up and down like, this is the best thing ever. Late Shift is literally your movie. And when I say yours, you literally will pick what happens in this movie. And I can tell you, there are several completely different endings. Like, we're not talking like Telltale games where, well, no matter what, we're going to end up at this ending. No. Your character can live or die depending on your choices. Your character can live or die happily in love or completely alone, depending on your choices. All of it's based on you. And that's what made this so great. And I love the way that some of the earliest decisions that you thought meant nothing played huge parts to the actual overall game. And I just adore it. So if you get a chance, it is breathtaking and so good. So
interesting.
Late Shift all day.
He's pretty spot on too, and it's they have actually a pretty decent little acting cast. It's all like motion video. So it's like any of like those old school like motion video games where you make a choice and then a video plays. You make another choice and video plays. There's not it's not like a video game. They're not like video graphics. It's all like real time acting. It's like you're controlling the actors. It's like an interactive movie, really. I mean, that's really kind of what it is. It's kind of neat. When I played it on Xbox, I did notice there was like some stuttering between the decisions, like the load time, I guess, to get it. And I'm wondering what that looks like on Switch. I'm almost more interested in hearing what Switch reviews look like, because that could be rough. I feel like it could be rough.
This will be my first digital purchase on Switch.
Really? Oh, yeah. Coach Mo earning them gold points. Those gold coins.
Late Shift all day.
I picked that one out specifically for you. I was like, you know what? What perfect coincidence. Coach Mo's on the show. It is very interesting. So there are some games coming this week. If you're looking for something and you're not doing South Park like I am, and you're still not playing Xenoblade like Caroline, there's some things out there.
I got X to do next.
I think I'm going to pop on Jotun. They were telling me for the longest time, they're like, Donnie, you need to play this game. It's really good. I mean, I remember for the longest time I had it in my wish list, and I just never jumped on it. And I think I'll do it on Switch eventually.
Yeah.
The next topic discussion that I was thinking of doing, there was a news report that came out last week that Nintendo was going to work with like a venture capitalist to find some startups to do some sort of mock-up on like hardware revisions, changes, things like that. Now, I don't necessarily mean to say that to point you down the road of like massively overhauling it. However, I did want to use the opportunity to go, if they were to do a revision, or if you could do a revision or an improvement, it didn't necessarily have to be a revision, just an improvement to the hardware, to the system itself. Like, is there anything that you'd really like to do? And for example, I'll start playing South Park at work yesterday and then in my bed last night made me really realize that I really hate the speakers. I think they're light. Like, they're just not loud enough for me when I turn them all the way up. And I really don't like... I typically always play with headphones on. So when I play with headphones not on, it almost becomes egregious. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever play this without headphones portably. So if it were me, I would love to upgrade the speakers and get some better speaker stuff. Coach Mo, you get to revise the Switch, man. Let's show us your path forward.
Throwing it in the trash and never making it, I guess, is not a revision.
Dude, man.
No? Okay, I just want to check. I wanted to make sure we were in the right place. Add achievements. Get rid of the friend
That's not a hardware revision. That's an OS revision.
Add achievements. Fix that. Get rid of friend codes. Just destroy that too. And then, I'm not sure on this one, but does it have Bluetooth?
Does not.
Why not?
The Joy-Cons that sync with it, they sync with something very similar to Bluetooth that's proprietary to Nintendo. You can't like sync Bluetooth headphones to it. I think that's a really good one. I can only imagine. So when you say why not, my only answer is battery life.
Yeah. Like so I spent a good chunk of change on Bluetooth headphones, those Beat by Dre ones. Because I like the ones that fit over my ear but aren't the big puffy ones. I would love to be able to use those on the Switch if I ever wanted to use it portably. I don't think I've used it portably yet.
You know, that's a really great one, and I would add to that I'm pretty sure they did it because of battery life, but I would rather them include it and let me turn it off than not have it at all, because even at like a substandard battery life, I would probably use it more often than not, especially portably. Like when I'm at work and I pick it up for 30 minutes or an hour to play a level, I would totally just use my Bluetooth headphones. If I could. That's 100%. Yeah. Or if it was docked. Oh, man, I would love to sync up my Bluetooth headphones if it was docked and just play without headphones. That'd be great for the streaming station here.
And I'd be jacked for an XL version.
You want a bigger version?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to come back to that.
The screen's pretty small.
I'm going to come back to that, but I want to let Caroline get in here.
The only thing that I can think that bothers me is the same place in Breath of the Wild that we have griped at for the past year, when you're in the forest and you have the ridiculous lag and dropping frame rate. I don't know if that's a processor issue or if it's the graphics or what, but something, I guess a better processor would need to be installed, maybe.
Yeah, and they had all those rumors upon launch that they were going to use this Pascal chip and not the Tegra. And they went with the Tegra because it's cheaper and all that. So you might want like a better chip, maybe an overclocked system.
Or, I mean, what are we at, 720p?
When it's not docked most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of I'm not sure if you saw, Donkey Kong didn't even run at 720 undocked. Donkey Kong, it's not that far off, but it's not 720p. It's like 696, you know, it undocked.
Oh no.
So
that's not good.
Kind of going in line with what Coach said. I mean, an XL version you would hope would provide a little bit more space for maybe a fan, maybe a bigger processor. Right. Maybe you could do a little more, because I mentioned it in our Zelda review cast, actually. I was like, man, I really look forward to playing the remastered 4K edition of Breath of the Wild, like on 3 systems from now, like in 2028. Yeah, I really look forward to playing what that game should be, because I mean, when you play on a console like an Xbox One X, or more so, you play on some PC architecture. I mean, it is really underpowered, and you know, we argue all the time as Nintendo fans that it doesn't matter, and I think to a point it doesn't. But when even you can't run your own games
Yeah.
like to standard performance, then you're like, all right, now you've really undercut power. You should just boost it up a little bit more. I should never have a frame rate drop in Zelda or Mario. You want to give me frame rate drops in Call of Duty, I'll understand that, but not Zelda and Mario. Come on now, this is ridiculous.
That's the only place that it happens, though. The only place that I've ever had any issues is in the forest.
Yep.
Their tree graphics just aren't there yet.
They're tree graphics.
I don't think it's the tree graphics. I think it's the amount of light and shadow that's in that area.
It is the light. Yeah, it's their shadow processor. Now, Coach is interesting because Coach said he would rather have an XL edition. I've actually taken the other stance. I'd like to have like a mini. I'd make it smaller.
It's already a mini.
But
my phone's bigger than the Switch.
No, it's not.
Heck no.
Yeah, that my
it might be wider, but it's not longer. The Switch is really long.
Only because you count the Joy-Cons. I took a picture, just the screen, the same size as my phone.
That's interesting. I want to see that picture.
Yeah, me too.
And you might be right. Like the bezel's pretty thick, right? It's like a ½ inch. You're not wrong. I just think a more condensed screen. I'm thinking something more like Vita-like. I think would let them get more out of their, more out of their chipset than they're currently getting. I think on a smaller display, you probably could hit better performance. Also, I think it would fit better. Like the Switch's oblong shape is, I think for anybody that's ever carried a 3DS for the last 10 years, it feels weird. Like you've got to have it in a case. You got to put it in a bag. Like you can't carry it. You can't put it in a pocket. It doesn't fit in my cargo pants well. Like these are all things I'm really used to that it doesn't do, and it feels weird. So I wouldn't mind actually kind of going smaller. I don't mind the idea of a bigger unit, but I wouldn't be opposed to just a smaller display either. That was the topic discussion that I had.
Nice.
We can jump into some news if you guys want to.
Sure.
Coach, did you want to bring anything to the shack before we jump into some news?
I'm staring at you judgingly.
Nintendo, you are what you are. Just do you, boo-boo.
Oh, they do
That's
them.
all I got.
That's all they do.
That's all I got.
I think that's the thing that people like and dislike about them is all they do is them.
I don't want Kara to hate me. Kara and
I won't hate you.
She will. If you heard her,
if I hated you, you wouldn't have been allowed to come in here.
She's ruthless. She's Freya, dude. For real. Caroline, you don't understand that. You will one day when you play God of War.
Okay. I do know some Norse mythology. So I know
never mind.
Freya
Well, I'm sure it's different, but never mind.
Yeah.
Before we jump into news, anybody interested at all? Coach is going to say no. But anybody interested at all in Labo? Like, did anybody read reviews?
Yes.
I did a lot of reviews.
Yes.
You do any reviews, Coach?
I have Labo. You want me to show you?
Yeah. Let's see
There's
your Labo.
cardboard boxes all over. I got you.
Did you build it? So while he does that, I did reviews.
Got cardboard boxes. He's trolling us.
Some Labo?
Yeah, I knew he was going to. Donnie, I picked up on that. Like, how did you not realize?
Because I'm hosting. Like, my mind isn't there. Like, I'm hosting. I'm trying to figure out.
Sit back down, Coach.
How we're gonna do this. Like,
I'm actually really. I was gonna hold out until Christmas for sales and stuff,
I'm
and
still
hoping.
going to.
I'm really intrigued. I've been waiting to see what people are going to be doing with that basically sandbox mode where you can do anything you want.
Sure.
Make one thing do one vibration to affect another and stuff. I watched the Bill Nye video and I was like, dude, they got Bill Nye on this thing. It's going to be something else. I'm interested in it, but it's not enough for me to fill the void right now of waiting until, what did I have? Octopath in July.
Yeah.
I have Shantae and Hyrule Warriors next month.
So to let our listeners know, I'm not getting Labo. Jason's not getting Labo. Caroline might get Labo. No, I'm going to get it this fall.
Oh, okay.
When I went and picked up South Park, I looked right at my GameStop manager right in the face and I said, I'm going to be able to get 2 of those for $70 in November. For sure. Probably cheaper. I might be able to get them 2 for $50. So,
well, if you have Best Buy Gamers Club unlocked, I think one's $50 and one's $70.
So I might even get them cheaper than that. Yeah. I did a lot of reviews, but never fear, Kevin has you covered, as Kevin and PSVG's official chef, Justin Warner, are going to do a video this weekend about their initial Labo experience. So we've got some content coming for you on that regard. Now, the reviews that I read said that robot takes 5 to 7 hours to build.
5 to 7, I know.
To build it.
But you know what? That's what I love. I'm such a crafty person. I love making stuff and painting stuff, and I'm like just really artsy. And
I'm glad you do, because I feel like I'm gonna like in frustration throw it and rip it in half by the time the 7 hours. That's a whole
Donnie,
day.
The little Shantae figurine that I bought, it came in pieces, and you had to like clip them apart and sand them down, and like touch up with paint and stuff. That thing, it's tiny. It's maybe only about 6 inches tall. It took me like 10 hours.
Coach Mo has got a fence to build. He's got a house to move. He can't be spending 5-7 hours building a cardboard box. Who in the world spends 5 hours to build a cardboard box? And then you get to play the game, and apparently the game isn't that long. Like, the game's super short and bland. So, like, the game
plays longer than putting together play? Is that true?
No, like, yeah, building the robot is longer than the game itself, I think. Is basically
it's
from the
accomplishment, I think.
Awesome.
I just feel like it's one of those, look what I made, look what it can do, bringing it to life.
The only thing that review told me is not to get the robot kit. I'm pretty much assured, like, I'm not going to get the robot kit.
Well, I wanted the variety kit first anyway.
Yeah, like, while it looks, I'll admit to you, it looks complex, and you probably have a sense of accomplishment. It's got all these rubber bands and things. Like, I honestly, I wonder if I'm even, to be honest, like, smart enough to pull it off. I can't
have
build
an engineering degree or something.
I can't build a birdhouse. Like, I don't know how to do any of this. So the little RC car and the piano's great. Like, on Twitter this week, you know, all these dubsteps. You see the Wii Shop music?
Yes, but have you seen, like, the children banging on it and, like, messing the keys up and stuff? It's just
who
like
cares? It's a cardboard box.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that, like, it was such a thing for kids. I mean, back when I was a baby, you know, we had these little xylophones that were rainbow colored and stuff. And
Fisher Price toys.
Lava's the new thing, I guess.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that was one news story that I had. The other news story that I had, and this is a quick one, is that the Octopath Traveler box art came out. Yesterday it came out in Japan, and everybody woke up this morning going, I hope it's the same. It is. It's the same worldwide. Europe, America, Canada. We're all getting the same box art. And it's gorgeous. So anybody that's looking forward to that game, like myself and Caroline, go get the
And I'm
physical
getting
edition.
it in the Wayfarers
That's right.
edition.
You got that super edition. What does that come with?
It comes with, like, a pop-up book that has 8 different, like, pop-up scenes for each of the characters in it. And I think a sound selection CD and maybe an art book.
As we throw it to Coach Mo for his Octopath Traveler reactions.
Does Nintendo normally not print the same box art for, like, different countries? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that actually is a thing. Yeah, like
Cal
the
gets a lot of different ones.
The
I actually
Splatoon 2 box art in Japan is actually somewhat collectible here in the States because it's completely different. It's very, like, anime character and stuff.
I like the art for Breath of the Wild and the European region.
You know why it's a thing?
They don't give you guys the same
Do you know why it's a
stuff,
thing? Because the only reason that you realize it's a thing now is because Xbox can't sell games outside of America, so they've never had this problem. They just sell the games. You know, let's just do the one box.
A sick burn.
Oh, you're making a joke saying they don't sell.
Nice.
See, I didn't catch.
Just had everything.
Hey, Coach Mo knows I love my Xbox.
Can you change your gamer tag?
I do think you can. Nintendo? Absolutely, yeah.
You can change your friend code?
Yeah, absolutely. You can change your gamer tag. It's different.
Your
ID.
Code. So
you can't change your code. Actually, you can change your ID.
ID.
You can.
I want to change my number.
When you go into your profile, you can detach your ID and get a new one. You actually can do that.
But I can't actually pick the numbers I want.
No, you can't do that. But you can change your name. You can change Coach Mo, Coach Hulk, NintenMo. We need a bet to where we make Coach Mo change his Xbox. We need a bet. We need to find a bet where we make Coach Mo change his Xbox ID
hack his Xbox.
to NintenMo.
We just need to hack it.
Please leave that alone.
NintenMo.
It's great. It's awesome.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh gosh.
I'm so happy that happened.
Yep.
Well,
you came over that, Chaffee?
When the OT goes under in 3 more episodes, I'm going to blame you.
He's the hero Chelsea's the hero that we needed. He's not the one we deserve, but he's the one that we needed.
Mercy.
Caroline, do you have any news?
I have a couple of things revolving regarding patches. This week, actually, it's already happened for Splatoon 2. We have version 3, which gives us new gear. A couple new songs, I believe. Callie is going to be available to be hanging out with Marie in the outpost area where they are in the single player.
And there's a ton of changes to multiplayer that are too much to name. On top of that, my bae,
We
Xenoblade
get
Chronicles.
Camp Triggerfish, right?
Oh yeah, I
that's
forgot
the big
about that. Yeah, which was actually one of my favorite courses on the first game. My bae, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is getting more free updates in the form of a new Poppy thing called Poppy Buster. And it's basically a giant mecha. I don't know if she's going to be inside it or not. And then just another throwing you a bone Xenosaga Blade character or whatever. Free. Not even the DLC that's supposed to be coming out this spring. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I think that hits on the 27th. Xenoblade or Splatoon 2 is already out.
Definitely. And there's this Octolings expansion sometime this summer. It's going to be
It's
the
in
best.
July.
It's going to be a blast.
Yep.
Coach, just to be clear, I think it's egregious that the Eastern countries don't play Xbox. I don't know why it just doesn't get any traction in Japan and China, but it is. I do think it's funny. Every time have you ever seen the NPDs that come out? It's like Nintendo Labo sold 100,000, PlayStation 4 sold 95,000, Switch sold 72,000, Xbox 130. Like it's weird. I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I guess they're just like anti-Western creation or something.
Well, I mean, I know
I think it's because the controller is normal sized. They don't want to hold it.
Oh my goodness.
The views reflected by Coach Mo, by no way indicate the reviews reflected by PSVG, the team as a whole. No, that I do know that Phil Spencer was said that at some point in time he wanted to try to appeal to that market more, and they tried to they tried to do like some JRPG stuff, but yeah, it just never got off the ground. So while I was making a joke, all consoles matter. Play games, not consoles. Don't lose a fit. We have fun here.
Yeah.
And the last two things that I had, this is weird. Do you guys do the NPD earnings report stuff? I like it. Like, I like watching the investor stuff. Do you guys?
No.
I only did it for that big article that I was working on.
Oh, okay. So the Switch, the red and blue Switch was the highest selling SKU in March.
Really?
But it wasn't the highest selling console. It was the PS4, because for some odd reason, the PS4 counts Pro and Slims, but the Switch consoles differentiate based on color.
Interesting.
How does that work?
It's the same problem with the Xboxes.
That's
They're
the
all
weirdest thing
different.
in the world, is they differentiate Switch by color, but not Pro and PlayStation.
Did you get a
Slim
red
and
and blue
Faces.
at GameStop when we launched?
Oh, I
or-
totally went neon.
No.
I
I got
Okay.
yellow.
hard.
See, I went gray. I think they only had 4 at GameStop when they launched the neons.
And Coach, you went gray too?
No, we literally handed them the ones it came with and got the yellow ones. The bright yellow ones.
Well, those weren't at
Oh.
launch though, right?
I don't remember when those came out.
No, the
but
yellow ones
whenever-
came out for ARMS.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So,
think even the ones in the box. I think I was like the lone Shaq person that preferred neon. I like
Now,
colors.
see, I love the Joy-Cons now. I've been trying to collect them, and I still need blue ones. And I think the blue ones are really probably the best color for it. I don't know.
I can't say that I collect them, but I've got gray ones. I've got the Splatoon watermelon ones, and I've got the neon red and blue.
See, I want to get the watermelon ones in America and the watermelon ones in Japan, and then have a set of green and pink.
It's too
'Cause
many
they did
Joy-Cons.
that.
You have 2 people. You have no kids. Like, that's so many Joy-Cons.
I have Pro Controller, gray, neon red, and neon yellow.
That's too many Joy-Cons. My last
They made a yellow Pro controller.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you just said.
No, she
No,
meant
I
she had
said
a
I have
Pro
a Pro
controller and
controller.
then the yellow ones.
Neon
And then,
yellow. The only other Pro Controllers they've made are Splatoon 2 and the Xenoblade 2 one.
you know what?
No, thank you.
That's something else. On our Discord, we get a lot of don't go third party. My third party's Pro controller is fantastic and has
Power A
remained
ones?
fantastic. No, I've got. It's called an E-Kit.
Oh, that's right.
It's an
Yeah, the
E-Kit
one that-
thing. I did have to patch it.
Patch,
so it's not without an issue, but it's Coach Mo. It's an Xbox controller, like legit. That's all it is. Yeah, it's right here.
Is it really?
Look, it's right here.
I would use that.
Yeah, I bought it for $24. It does everything except Amiibo. It's fantastic. It's amazing. I love it.
I think that
I haven't played with my Pro Controller, but the Power A ones that have recently come out, the wired ones that have, there's a Yoshi one, I think.
Oh
There's
no, I don't
Bowser
like
one.
those.
You don't like them?
All
I
the buttons look cheap as could be. Like it looks.
Oh well, I wasn't paying attention about the buttons, but I do like the design.
You like the design? She's like, I like that they put
I broke
Yoshi
one
on
of
the
those
controller.
testing it.
Did you?
Yes. Somebody wanted to like, hey, could I see you pull out the box? And I pulled it out and I pushed one of the buttons in and it stuck.
I did.
Oh.
Did not come back out.
At my local GameStop, I was looking at one that was turned in used, and they let me pull it out, and I put my hands on it, and it was super light. It just felt like super hollow, and the buttons were like, it's just not good. Like I honestly can't. I could not. I didn't like it. I'm sorry if this makes somebody angry. I just did not like it. I tried. I was like, nope. Mm-mm.
Well, maybe they're a good alternative for
Don't
kids that parents don't want to spend $80 on a pair of Joy-Cons.
E-Kit, $24 at eBay. I'm telling you, this is a really good controller. Do that,
Okay.
or just go Nintendo. I say that the PDP makes a wired Nintendo controller that's pretty good. I think
They do.
Yeah, it's the one with the switchable D-pad. That one was legit. It felt like a Pro controller.
What's the one Kahlo has?
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head.
I do have mine over here.
Because that thing looked clean. Like I'm not a big fan of most Nintendo stuff, but that original controller with the black box and the gray controller, you know what I'm talking about? From the first Nintendo. What's that one called? NES.
The 8-bit
like,
dude.
Kind of like that. Yeah, doesn't this kind of look like that though? Like it's got the same color scheme.
Maybe he might have the 8-bit dude. I had one of those, and I played it, and I did enjoy it. Except that when we tried to stream Splatoon 2, and this may have been patched and fixed, every time I tried to play Splatoon 2 with that controller, the game crashed.
Coach, I was just going to intervene and say, this is the official Pro.
Yeah, that's the Pro controller.
Yeah, we have that one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had it.
I thought when you said Pro controller like yellow, I thought there was like a yellow one. I would be more accustomed to use that yellow one than the base one. So, but I like that one.
I want the Pyro one, man.
Of
course, you know me.
The other one. So.
Yeah, I think he may have the 8-bit do, or 8-bit do, whatever they call themselves. I like I said, I had it, and then when we tried to play Splatoon 2 just a few months ago, every time I tried to get into it would be fine solo. The moment I tried to play online with a controller, the game would crash. The moment I used a Joy-Con, totally went away. So I refunded it and got something else. And ever since I moved to this one, I've been super happy. It's a third of the price as Nintendo's product, and it's every bit as good. So I love it. That's all I can say. The last news story that I had, which I kind of put in our Discord earlier, is that Atlas has listed Persona Q2 as platform to be determined. If you didn't know, this was a sequel to Persona Q on 3DS. It was originally announced as a 3DS game. I imagine that it's probably still coming to 3DS, probably at least in Japan, but probably in both. But them listing as to be determined makes you wonder, is it getting a PS4 port? Or more importantly, is it getting a Nintendo Switch port? I would bet money on the Nintendo Switch port.
I'm thinking Switch too.
Yeah, I mean, Persona Q is what Nintendo fans get. So
yeah.
Persona doesn't come to Nintendo consoles. That's PlayStation series. We get Shin Megami Tensei and Persona Q. I did not play Persona Q on 3DS because when I read all the reviews, one, I never played Persona 3. I only played Persona 4. So all the Persona 3 ties, which there are in there in Persona Q, meant nothing to me. I've never played an Etrian Odyssey game, and apparently the whole system is based off of that.
Yeah, I've started, and it's interesting. It's a different kind of JRPG. It's more dungeon crawler than anything.
And that's what kind of turned me off. A lot of the people in the reviews said it was really hard, and they were like, I started drawing out. I was like, I don't want any of that. They're like, I actually started drawing out locations of chests and the stuff. I was like, I don't want.
It's difficult.
So I didn't do any of that. So I can't even act like I'd be interested in Persona Q2 if it comes to Switch in its current form. But if they do something else to it, if they modernize it, if they make it somewhat like Persona 5, maybe I would be interested. It is based off Persona 5 characters and its style, which I do love. Persona 5 style is fantastic. It's amazing. So that was my only news story.
Nice.
You got anything?
No. Just the patches. It's just kind of...
sorry, you were talking about two things I could care less about, so I'm just playing with my dog.
Oh, I was like, what is he doing?
This is Daisy. Say hi, Daisy. Say hi. You want to say hi?
Hello, Daisy.
She ran away. She had no interest.
Goodbye, Daisy.
She doesn't like Nintendo either, so... It's a family
But her name
thing.
is Daisy.
Yeah,
That's true. This is
after the flower.
Nintendo character. After the
Or a
Nintendo character.
flower.
Nintendo character. Couch.
It was a flower first.
But the Nintendo character came before Daisy the dog, so
That's not
Sorry,
true.
it's
You know.
moot point. Does anybody have anything else as we close up this impromptu
No.
show?
I will be so excited. I'm ready for E3, dude.
Yeah?
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready for it.
I have one thing.
Do you think we're gonna?
Let's do it.
Well, do you think we're gonna get another direct before this?
No.
No.
No, it's too close. There's too many games coming out.
Ah.
Yeah, like we got
Okay.
Tropical Freeze, Runner 3, Hyrule. There's too many games.
Go, coach.
All right. Smash Brothers is not new and is just a port. I will boycott Nintendo and throw the Switch in the trash.
Don't throw it in the
Oh.
trash. Throw it my way. I'll give it to the kids.
I will throw it in the
So
trash.
what would
I will
okay?
light it on fire.
So let's instead of bringing hate mail, let's bring solutions. What would you like it to have that you wouldn't count it as a port? Because I would argue, Coach, that every Smash game since the first one is a port. They're all the same thing. It's a collection of Nintendo characters that beat each other up. Like they're all essentially a port of one another.
My issue is if you bring me I actually did play The Legend of Zelda on both systems, the new one, because I had an arrangement, an agreement, a bet with the wife that involved me playing it, and I hated it on the Switch, so I played it on the Wii U. I think I enjoyed it more on the Wii U. The controller bit.
That's blasphemous.
Here's the thing, guys. The gamepad fits my hands like a normal controller, and I play on the gamepad. So it's the same, like, whenever we played Mario Kart, I preferred to be on the gamepad than I did with the wheel or the other
I can
controllers.
understand that. I actually do think the gamepad was, for all of its flaws, the gamepad was very ergonomic, and I actually thought in a lot of ways it was comfortable.
So,
That's not crazy.
I'm a girl and I
need
don't
it-
have those problems.
I need it to be better than the last one across the board. Like, we played hours of Smash Brothers. Me, wife, friends. Like, we used to have friends come over just to play this game together. Like, I have no problem with Smash Brothers. I've always enjoyed it. If it's the exact same game, if I literally boot up the Wii U and see the same game, why?
Again, you didn't give me any. You didn't answer the question. What would make it new? What is it that you're asking for?
Make it prettier.
Okay, I think you're gonna get that.
Okay. Give me more characters, and I'm not talking like two.
I think
want
you're gonna
more.
get different characters, but I mean, you can't like double the Smash roster. The roster had like 60 people in it last
60
time.
at least.
Dude, you can't.
You guys don't have that many characters?
Xbox has like 8 characers. You can't. The Xbox can't even make a Smash.
Game.
You have Marcus and Master Chief. That's it.
You don't. You're thinking of the best character in Gears of War you just ignored.
That's
Cole
true.
Train for life.
That's true.
Cole Train for life, sir.
Now we're making Xbox All Stars, and that's a
that'd be
bad
a good
road
game.
to go down. That's not.
Yep.
You don't.
It's a shooter though.
Then
It's
it
not a
really
fight.
won't sell in Japan, like
No,
ever.
it won't sell here either. That's the sad part. It won't sell in Texas.
Sweet shooter.
Coach Mo single-handedly tries to get it to chart, so he buys 10,000 copies of the game.
Can't do that anymore, man. I don't have a job. I'm moving soon with no work.
I know.
That's true. That's
I'm
true.
excited though. Excited for
It's
the
gonna be
movie.
awesome, man. It's gonna be great. Don't you fret. Good things are gonna come to good people. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've already said all of our Smash predictions. I guarantee you that they'll have. I mean, you already knew you're getting Inklings, so right off the bat, you're getting new characters. But you're gonna get some new characters for sure.
But I want new combos too. Like, I want this to be a completely fresh take. I don't want all of the stuff that I know from this one. If I can grab Luigi right now on the Wii that we currently have and do all of his moves, which I can, like, he's my best character, and turn around and do the same thing on the Switch, I think there's a problem. Like, I don't like. I want it to be new. I want it to be, hey, we thought about the effects and how to fight, and on this new Joy-Con, and maybe not every you got to think everybody's using the itty bitty Joy-Con in what? Like, how is this game going to be played? I need more information, I guess, on that part. But I want a new game. I don't want a port.
I think with
And that's what
some
I'm nervous about.
characters,
It's going to be the same.
I think that was kind of the point in them showing off like new costumes. I think the characters that get new costumes, like Breath of the Wild, I'm hoping they take Mario Odyssey folks and shove them in. I think with new paletted characters, you will get new movesets. It'll still be, I mean,
Right.
it's Smash. It'll be left B, up B, right B, down B, but it'll be new things, at least for some. I don't know if
I
it'll be
believe
for all.
that for Link, we're going to have like a Rivali's Gale and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for some characters, they'll get new stuff. I don't know about Luigi. Luigi
But
might
see,
just be Luigi.
Luigi's like not had a game like a Luigi's Mansion or anything that's come out, and they did give him the Poltergeist, didn't they, for this past game?
think
Am I
so.
making that up?
No, I think you're right.
So he did have some sort of change from the original 64 Melee Brawl,
Sure.
but I don't think that they'll be making another change. Mario had a change too, and I think Mario will probably just have.
He's going to be able to throw Cappy and stuff. Like, they got to
Sure.
do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Before we sign off, Coach Mo, since this is your inaugural Shaq episode, thank you for joining, man. You stepped up. We put out a call. I was like, does anybody want to help us? Like, the show's falling apart. And Coach Mo, he answered the call. What a great team player. Coach, E3, Nintendo, what's a game that'll make you excited about Switch again? Let's end it on a positive note.
Okay, there's only one. Madden
Nice.
19.
I like it.
However, I need it to be able to connect either with my Xbox One or PlayStation, I don't care which, or with the mobile app. I just need it to connect. Because, again, I don't like playing the Switch portably. I don't enjoy it. It's not for me. I need it to be on the TV. I like to have my normal controller in my hands. Because of me not liking the portability portion, like, so far I've not found a game that I want to go play on the Switch, not at home. Does that make sense? Like, you give me Madden, a game that I love, with the controller that I enjoy. I like the Pro Controller. It's just fine. But you let it connect to other stuff, dude, I'm down.
I like
Because
that.
That's
So you
more
want Madden cross Rocket League. You want cross-platform play like Rocket League with Madden. I think
Yep.
EA should be able to deliver you that. I don't know if
That'd
they
be-
will, but I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, there you go, folks. This impromptu episode of Shaq actually went 56 minutes. We thought we'd be out of here a long time ago. I thank you for joining us. We are a proud member of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Again, my name's Donnie Reese. You can find me over there on Twitter at Playin Nintendo. Ain't no G's in Playin Nintendo. And you can come join me and play the game with Dame. Caroline, how can they follow you?
The Nintendo on Twitter.
There you go.
What
Coach
up?
Mo.
Not NintenMo ever.
Oh,
Anyway.
man, we're doing that. We're going
We're
to
gonna
find a
hack
way.
'em.
We made Dev Switch. Now we're about to start make Coach Switch. NintenMo. Hashtag NintenMo.
Here's the thing. If Dev plays Legends of Zelda, I bet he'd enjoy it. He'd be fine with it because I think he has a Zelda background. There is
Yeah.
currently nothing on the Switch that I want. So, and I've tried it. I've tried a good portion. So, you can find me at the Coach Hulk. I think that's on everything except for PS4 because you still can't change your name.
Exactly. Yep. And it's coming soon, NintenMo.
Not happening.
That's going to be
Happening.
good stuff. Can't wait to make it happen. We're going to make Coach Switch in 2018. Make Coach great again. Anyway.
I'm not great anymore.
Thank
We're
you
giving
for
you an
joining us,
upgrade.
everybody. We appreciate it. As always, good night, Kooplings.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.